Hey, what's up, guys? It's Cameron Talks Football, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a video with my friends, seeing if they have ideas on Philip Rivers Hall of Fame or not. Welcome, Dylan and Chase Baldwin.
Up,
Yeah,
All right, do you guys believe Philip Rivers is a Hall of Famer?
Chase, you can go first.
mm, I don't think. I don't think he will. I think he's good, but no, because he hasn't won any Super Bowls, and mm, I don't know. He hasn't
Well,
proven.
quarterbacks that have that are in the Hall of Fame that haven't won a Super Bowl, or quarterbacks like Dan Marino. Who else do we have? We have the Bills legendary quarterbacks. We have a bunch of other quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame, and he has better numbers than he does with passing touchdowns, interception ratio, and yards. So if they are going based off of no Super Bowls, which they usually don't have to, he probably will make the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl, the Hall of Fame. What do you think, Dylan?
No, I totally agree. He was a heck of a quarterback with the Chargers, and then went over to the Colts and played really well. Led them to the playoffs, which was pretty incredible for his age and everything. So I think he's a heck of a quarterback. I mean, him and Gates, when he was in San Diego and then in LA. So I think at some point he'll be thrown in that Hall of Fame.
How do you think he compares to other Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Dan Marino and all those other ones and Jim Kelly?
I think he kind of reminded me a little bit of Dan Marino a bit, but he obviously had a different throw, and like everybody said about like he's got like a weird throw, and I don't know, him leading the Chargers his like the year before he left to the playoffs, he played really well. Kind of reminded me of Dan Marino, so I don't know. It's just he seems like a heck of a quarterback. He always was, and yeah, I think he'll make the Hall of Fame at some point.
Chase, how do you think he compares to a quarterback like Dan Marino or Jim Kelly or even Dan Fouts, a legendary Chargers quarterback?
Kind of like what Dylan was saying. Like he led the Chargers pretty good. It wasn't his fault, but yeah, he threw weird. He kind of had like his own throw, and he again, like he did really good this season with the new team, so that really proves that he's actually pretty good.
And why do you think? What will be that one main argument that will make him a Hall of Famer? Like everyone has that one person that will fight for them. They have a 7 minute what is it? A 7 minute speech on why this person should be a Hall of Famer. What is that one thing that will make him a Hall of Famer?
I feel like it would be like his drive and like how he attacked everything. He always had great emotion. Whenever something went wrong. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen clips of him. He'll throw a temper tantrum. He's got his ways. And I think that's something like a great football player has, is just the great like drive and mentality to like want to win and strive.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I love
And
his
does
temperament.
never making the All Pro team weigh heavy on this decision for making the Football Hall of Fame?
You repeat that one more time? My bad.
Does not making for him not making the All Pro team weigh heavy on the decision for him not making the Hall of Fame?
I mean, honestly, there's a lot of great quarterbacks out there right now in the league, so it's kind of hard for an older quarterback like him to get into something like that. Um, you see guys like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. These guys they're mobile, they can throw the ball, and Rivers just was one of those guys who was not very mobile. He just sat in the pocket. He had his own style, his play style, and I mean, I don't think it's a factor. I don't think it should be a factor at least.
Chase, do you have any reason? Do you have any things to say to that?
I don't think the Pro Bowl really matters if you go to Hall of Fame. Like what Dylan was saying, there's a lot of new talent that are younger, first of all, and yeah,
Yeah, I
and
It kind
agree
of
with you
goes
guys.
based off of
There's
like what the fans want to see. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
It's not based off of like stats and stuff. Like he played really well this year with the Colts.
he
A bit
did.
salty about it because he could have been with the Chargers and taken us to the playoffs. But I mean, um, yeah, we have Herbert now, and he's a good franchise quarterback for us and future franchise quarterback for us. But
yeah. So there are like a bunch of players that like have never made the Pro Bowl that should be like probably future Hall of Famers. There's receivers, there's like great quarterbacks. Like a receiver like Julian Edelman, people are saying that he is a Hall of Famer, but I'm pretty sure you do need like to either make the All Pro team or to make a Pro Bowl, and I don't think he's made any of that. But I think him making the getting Super Bowl MVP should easily outweigh that. What do you guys think about like a thing like that with someone not making the All Pro team or a Pro Bowl making the Hall of Fame?
Well, like I said before, it's kind of just based off of like what the fans want. It's all based off of votes and who gets more votes than somebody else. And it's kind of just like sometimes a great player won't get in. And I mean, I guess it's how it just goes, how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, I feel like it shouldn't really matter upon that because that's based off of like what the fans want to see in like a semi tackle football game. That's just for fun.
Yeah. And what based off of not on the, this is not with the Philip Rivers question right here, but who do you think will be in the Hall of Fame this year? There's Megatron, there's Peyton Manning, there's Charles Woodson, there's other great players. What's it? Yeah, there's a bunch of great players. Jared Allen, the pass rusher for the Minnesota Vikings. Who do you think should make the Pro Bowl? I'm pretty sure only 4 can make it out of all the 5. I believe it is right now.
Yeah, I honestly I think like Peyton Manning will make it for sure. He was a heck of a quarterback as well. And who is it? Charles Woodson. That guy was a beast. He played for the Raiders, right?
Yeah, Raiders and
Raiders and
Packers.
Packers. Yeah, he was a heck of a player as well. So I mean, those two for sure. I know Megatron was a heck of a player too. I mean, he cut his season short. He didn't play very long, but um, with injuries and stuff like that. But those three, I think for sure will make it. The rest, it's just kind of like up in the air. It's whoever.
Yeah. Chase, do you have any thing to say about that?
I think Peyton Manning and Megatron are gonna gonna be Hall of Famers. Because yeah, Peyton Manning was a good quarterback. How long did Peyton Manning play for? Not that long, right?
18 seasons.
Oh, I thought he played shorter. But Megatron, yeah, he got cut earlier, and I think if he kept playing longer, he would have actually been like one of the best.
Yeah, that is true. And with back to going to Philip Rivers, he is one of the best quarterbacks to never win or make it to the Super Bowl with his performances. If you look at his numbers, he is if you based off of never winning Super Bowls, like if that was never a thing to make the Hall of Fame, he would easily be a Hall of Famer just because of his numbers. He's even though he's not really even though he was never really good in the playoffs, he was always great in the regular season. No matter if he won or lost, he always had great stats. So what do you think does that weigh also on a decision for being one of the best quarterbacks to never win a Super Bowl? Do you think that should also be a thing that they will look at?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like I think that like honestly it comes down to coaching. Chargers haven't had a great coach in a while. And it really comes down to coaching. You could be or you could have the best players, but if you have bad coaches too, I mean, it don't work out. Rivers, he played with a torn ACL. I don't know if you guys have seen that game.
Yeah,
I think it was against the Patriots. He played
yeah,
with
it
a
was.
torn ACL. I mean, he literally had that like it's win or nothing. So I mean, honestly, to me, I think he's pretty much Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable that he played that well without having like a great head coach. Like Bill Belichick had Tom Brady. With Joe Montana had some great head coaches. There's all those great Hall of Fame quarterbacks that had that great head coach, but Philip Rivers never really had that great head coach to get him over the hump. He did have Anthony Lynn where he did have that good year, but Anthony Lynn was never that coach that would get him to the promised land to never really like evaluate or up Phil Rivers' game. He was never that kind of coach. Phil Rivers
For
had to
sure,
really do that
yeah.
on his own.
Yeah, Anthony Lynn just kind of he lost himself, I think, after that one year. when we made it to the playoffs, beating the Ravens, and then we ended up getting blown out by the Patriots the next game. Um, I just think from there it all went downhill. He lost his time management, he lost his special teams, he lost everything, and it just yeah, I don't know. And then them releasing Rivers, I think they should have signed him to at least one more deal. One last year, brought Herbert in, let him learn from Rivers, but it's just the way it goes.
Yeah, and one stat about Phillip Rivers that they could also use to make him a Hall of Famer, whoever's going to be defending him, is he has never completed fewer than 60% of his passes in a year. Should this mean anything for him making the Hall of Fame?
I mean, to be fair, it's not really all of his fault because the O-line isn't the greatest either. And he only has really like Keenan Allen, who's like the only good receiver. So I mean it could affect him, of course, but like personally, I don't think it's all his fault.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Chase. Like, O-line was really rough for the past few years. I mean, we brought in that guy, Trey Turner, Brian Bulaga on that right side. And I mean, those guys not playing all season this year, or they played a game here and there. Um, even though he wasn't there, they built the offensive line after he left, and it's just that's not on him.
Yeah, because if you do put a great offensive line in front of a quarterback, you've seen it with when the Packers have had a great offensive line, when the Chiefs used to have a good offensive line before their opt-outs, the Patriots, that's how they build all those great quarterbacks. If you put an offensive line in front of him so he feels safe, not that he's always having to escape the pocket. Like Lamar, even though he does have a good O-line, he always tries to make extending plays, and linemen don't like to know where the quarterback is. They always need to know that they're like in that pocket, because if he leaves, then they're pretty much not doing their job that well.
For sure. I know as an offensive lineman, it's kind of, I don't like when my quarterback has to roll out and then, you basically it's kind of telling you need to do a better job. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you believe Philip Rivers will be a first or a second ballot Hall of Famer? First means that right when he's eligible, he will be able to make it, and then second is like his second year eligible.
It depends, honestly. Who else
Depends
is
on
up with him, like in that same era? Do we know?
it could be anyone that still hasn't made the Hall of Fame, and it could be players that Drew Brees will be in there, and
He
some
probably.
other.
I'm not sure if he'll go first. Um, he could go second. It's kind of all up in the air. It just depends on whatever they decide to do.
Chase, do you think he'll be a first or a second ballot Hall of Famer?
Honestly, I don't even know either. Like I don't know. I'm with Dylan on this.
All right. And then this question goes to with number the last question I asked. What makes him a first or second ballot Hall of Famer?
Hmm.
Like I said, just like his drive and his mentality and just the way he attacked every game and every practice, and um, he was like a leader, and those type of things are really big in like my eyes. Being a leader, attacking, giving out all your effort, just stuff like that.
Chase, do you have anything to say to that?
Just what Dylan said. Yeah, just him being a leader, and yeah, pretty much.
And then the last question that I have for you guys is, what makes him? What was his thing that was never made able to make it to school? What was that thing holding him back, or things?
Honestly, I feel like it's coaching. He had some good receivers, Gates, you had Malcolm Floyd back in the day, those are two great receivers, tight ends, Um, I mean, offensive line plays a big role too, You don't have protection, you don't get enough, you can't throw the ball. Um, and then you have to start running the ball when you can't throw it. And I mean, we struggled with running backs, you know, Ryan Matthews. You had Danny Woodhead come play for us for a bit. Those are two great backs, but you can't really do much when your offensive line doesn't block. And that's just the way it goes. And when your coaching ain't great either, you ain't gonna really go nowhere.
Chase, do you have anything to add to that or say differently?
Yeah, like I said earlier, like it's just because of his O line. Some like his receivers didn't have that much threats, and also the coaching wasn't the greatest, so that just held him back. But I think he is a good quarterback. Like with the Colts, he proved to everyone that like he's good. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, the Colts have like one of the best offensive lines in the league right now.
Mhm.
You know, Quentin Nelson, that kid's a freaking beast. You know, you got guys that'll protect him, and he made plays, and it showed. You know, and the coaching over there is even better. He also had good threats. You know, what's his name, Michael Pittman, T.Y. Hilton. You know, you got guys that'll make plays for you. You'll go places, and you got guys who can run the ball too. Overall, the Colts had a really solid team this year, and it's just I think when you get everything that comes together, you could push for a playoff run, and then from there you go to the Super Bowl. You know.
All right. Well, I think we made that decision with Phillip Rivers. We all believe that he will be a Hall of Famer. We don't know when. He could be a first or a second. And we did make that decision pretty easily. It was some mixed thoughts of why he will or what will happen. But thank you, Dylan and Chase, for being in this video. I will tell you guys their social medias. Dylan's Instagram is drandall644. So all lowercase and D Randall and then 664 or 644, sorry. And then Chase's Snapchat is C109279. If you guys do want to add them on Snapchat and on Instagram, go ahead and do that. But thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
Later.